5 seconds. Listen to that. 242. Holy
Wow,
Moses.
that's a good number. Wow. Now,
Now here's the deal. What did I tell y'all?
wait.
Wait.
What happened though? So the euro's pulling back, but now, and the dollar yen spiked up, but it just turned around. The dollar yen's coming right back down. What are the rest of the numbers?
Okay, the average hourly earnings came in minus 0.10, so that puts the Fed off. So that might help your euro. Euro went right to where we talked about.
Wow,
so 938.
Look at the dollar yen turn. Look at the euro dollar. It's the euro dollar. It went up to it's kind of holding. Now gold came down. Dollar Canadian's sinking.
This puts the Fed on hold. Instead of we talked about an urgency, if we saw a huge number, we talked about in the 2 teens, that puts the Fed in for June. But if there's a meeting in June, I don't remember when the next meeting is. But with the 0.1 minus 0.1, so we lost on average hourly earnings. That kind of puts the Fed back in the reserve role. So that pushes them out towards later in the summer. Once again, maybe not till September. But at least it doesn't push it for June immediately. So I think the SPOOs will like this number. I mean, we talked about that they could spike up to 2018. The only thing is that so I think we'll still take out 2,000.
Okay, so the dollar yen's trying to hold above 114 right now. But look at equities. Equities are turning lower at the moment. And that's something to think about.
We're at 1997, so we're not lower. We're actually working higher. We hit 2000.
But yeah, they just spiked up, and they're coming off a little bit here.
I think we'll take out the highs. We'll take out the 2000. Got to punch those highs.
Yeah, and the euro is still above 109 and a quarter. It didn't really pull back too much.
Yeah. If you're looking, it needs to hold that 9 and a quarter, but it's got some pressure with that. Like I said, I've been saying this and I just told you 2 days ago, everything is A-OK in the USA, despite with that idiot Trump who knows nothing about geopolitics or geopolitics. I'm just telling you. Hey, look, I'm not even talking smack.
Well, no, that's the Republican ticket. Paul, they got to say everything's horrible. Look at the Aussies hitting new highs. Aussie new highs. Wow. Aussie new highs. Kiwi new highs. Holy cow.
Euro is on its lows right now.
Yeah, euro is on its lows. I'm still long.
New lows for the euro, 927.
Yep. What to do with the euro? Gold's coming down too. Gold actually slipped in a negative.
We talked about that 1274. We talked about that yesterday, or day before yesterday. That's that level, that target, 1274. We took it out by about $1 and change, $1.50, and now we're pulling back. And you and I discussed that this morning. I just think I think the key for the euro is going to be 907. 907 is on the level on the 30-minute, and if you do a quick fib,
let's see
a recent rally here, 907, 927, we're at the 38% right now, and 907 would be right at the 50%, actually 908.
So we're retesting this broken channel right here. So yeah, be careful with shorts down here.
906 is key on the 2 hour. So my guess is if you want to buy the euro, you can buy it around 906. I mean, we can shoot a little bit beyond that, but that's your area. Or if you're short, cover into the 906 area. If you want to say, you know what, I'm pushing it for most of what it's worth, then go into this 906. You can cover it, cover your shorts. We talked about being short.
Hold on.
We talked about being short when we came on the European crossover. We were hitting the highs, and I said, hey, if you guys want to cowboy it up, you can get short. And we did dip. We lost about 25 pips or something before NFP, but like I said, I thought the risk on the upside was really like 10.28. So for those that hung on, good job. Crude's still holding it right here at $35. But,
gold's really coming off too. Let's see what gold's doing, because gold has the potential to do a false breakout here.
Yeah, here's 914 in the euro, 913, 911. So that's 906, folks. That's what you're looking for. That's what we do on the European crossover. We scalp and day trade. We don't hold position trades. So you're looking 906. This is where you want to go and cover your shorts. We're right here, folks. So if you've been short, cover your shorts here. Doesn't mean we can't go lower, and we could technically go down to about 892. 906, boom, we're there. Cover your shorts now, and this is how we do on the European crossover.
But Paul doesn't give investment advice. So let's make sure that we're all aware of that, Paul.
Yeah, we just talk the levels. I'm just saying.
Easy there, killer. All right, so gold is, watch this. This is a failed breakout too. I'm not too happy with what gold's doing right now. Look at that, pulling right back to, this is the 1250 level.
I just told you we're going to new highs on the SPOOs. We just hit 2002. So I said we were going to go beyond 2000. That was just a dip because you got to hit those stops up there. Now don't forget, folks, 1875. But with that lower wage thing, they may have some trouble. Your targets above are 2010, 2015 a quarter, and 2018.75 is a massive target. So I don't know if they may try and push them that high, but you look for stops at 2010. 2015 a quarter will definitely slow this market down. But we're all hitting, and we just bounced off of 906. We're at 910. Not much. What I'm saying is we're not seeing an acceleration now. 913.
Yeah, I mean the euro. I mean it pulled back, but it's really not. I mean it's pulling back, and see gold's bouncing right off of that 1250. I don't know if I'd be short the euro down here.
Oh no, we were saying cover your shorts at 906, and I think we got to 903, and now we're at 913.
Yeah, dollar yen's having a hard time sustaining just above 114. You notice, after the equity markets rally, we had this nice rally in equities. The dollar yen is still below the 114.50 level, which were the highs from this week, which is very, very surprising that it cannot sustain really any gains up at these prices. I'm not worried about being short the dollar yen at all.
Well, if the SPOOs can go up to 2000 and let's say 15 or 2010, that'll take the dollar yen up to that next key level, which is 1466, which we've been talking about. And it seems like it always just only takes out the prior higher just a little bit and fails. So if someone's looking to get short the dollar yen, I'd say 1466. Although 115.08 is at 38%, but 1466. If we get another bounce in the SPOOs, and we're only 2 handles from our highs, then you can take on the dollar yen at 1466. I'd start scaling at 1466 and then add on again on any moves above 15.
I want to take a look at the cable here because the pound, the pullback has been fairly minimal. Hold on. So here's the pound, still holding above 141. The euro dollar is sustaining above 109. The dollar yen, it may dip below this 114 again. The Aussie and the Kiwi aren't giving anything back. It's because equities are so strong. Gold bounced off 1250. This average hourly earnings, I'm assuming, is going to start to weigh on the dollar a little bit, despite the good number. But that was a strong print. 242,000. That was a big print.
That's an awesome print.
Yeah.
That's strong. That's awesome. After 150, that's I don't even know what the I didn't get a chance to look at what the back month revision on, but that's an awesome number. Like I said, it just goes to show you the U.S. is blowing and going, and every other country not named the U.S. is in trouble. We're the only country in the entire globe that's doing great, and that's just the way it is. That's not even talking smack. There's nothing wrong with this country. I can tell you that right now.
All right, so watch the dollar yen here. Watch the dollar yen. It's closing in on that 114 again.
People complain, I mentioned this on the European crossover, people complain about the wages, and that's a good point. But the thing is, the trauma that we sustained in 2008, think about what happened in the 1930s.
Wait, hold on real quick. Oh, we're nowhere near highs. Never mind. Aussies pulled
Yeah,
back.
it was such a trauma in 2008 that we went into a depression the last time we saw that kind of a thing. So for us, we're at 4.9% unemployment. I mean, I wish wages were even higher, but it's just tough when the rest of the globe is in the toilet, and growth is limited outside of the U.S. Crude is still trying to hang on to this $35. It wasn't able to take out that 35.17, the high from a couple of days ago. So
Dollar yen's back below 114.
Mm-hmm. And now we got euro at 9.25, and we're calling for a low at 9.06 to cover your shorts. The low is 9.03, so you're already up 20 pips if you covered your shorts.
That's good. That was a great call, Paul. It really was.
That's about it.
What else? You know what else couldn't rally is the dollar Canadian. Now we had the trade balance was a little bit better than expected out of Canada, worse than expected in the U.S. The dollar Canadian didn't rally much, which is surprising. Let me take a look at equities here real quick. I'm still long the euro and I'm still short the dollar yen. And look at the equity market. So why did we spike? Why did we stop where we stopped? Let's see here.
Well, it's just that 2000 is a pretty big print right there. I don't think that it doesn't mean that we still can't go even higher as we come into the cash session. Because those are good. Those are just good numbers. You know how you slice and dice it, and so I think they'll probably still want to pressure them because as long as we've got that 1992 and we're above it, and the news is still good, there's no reason for them not to press anybody else that's short. I don't think it'll hold, but I think we'll probably run out of gas around 2010, 2015 at best. I don't even know if we'll make it to that 2018, but. I would not be trying to short the squeeze right now until you got at least an hour, the first hour into the cash equity open.
Yeah, it's a really long wick though. Look at gold too. Gold dipped to 1250, and look at the bounce back. And we're back at 1259 from testing 1250. We've had a $10 bounce in gold already.
Yeah, but we've got to get to 1265 to get the momentum back up. So nothing happens until you get above 1265 on gold.
Yeah, actually, yeah, it's 1263 was the breakout point. But keep an eye on gold. It's firm here.
Well, 1265 is the close on a 2-hour, and once they got above the 1265, that's when it launched up. So on a 2-hour close, it's got to get above 1265 to reestablish the upside momentum. And I just don't see it with those kind of numbers that came out, considering how far gold has come. I think gold is, you're probably right, still going higher, but it needs to take a rest up here. And then we talked about that 2 days ago, is that 1274 is a target that the market's going to want to go to, and we made it up to 1275.90. So it's like, I don't see anybody that would buy gold at this point. I'm talking about guys on the floor would want to buy gold. They're saying, you know what, I want to buy gold, but I'm going to buy it $25 lower. I'll buy it against the 1239 pivot again.
One thing that you guys keep an eye on the Kiwi. Kiwi's really struggling up here. God, so damn choppy. So
I think the euro is going to have a hard time getting above 942. If it can't get a foothold back above 942, then ultimately I think we'll probably next week go towards 882 on the euro, because we'll have to do some downside probing. If it can't get above on a 2-hour close, it has to get above 942. If it can't get a foothold above 942 on a 2-hour close, then my guess is we got to go to 883, and they'll do that next week.
Look at the S&P and look at this is a 4-hour candle. We have an hour left in this 4-hour candle. We have an hour left. We have just a few minutes left in this hourly. Heaven forbid if that turns negative. Dow futures have come off quite aggressively. The euro is bouncing back. Dollar yen is at 13.90. It's starting to dip.
You're right about the S&P, but I mean, in the way that it's playing out right now, I just don't see it doing an immediate reversal right now. I just don't. It's not positioned that way because we got up to I mentioned that earlier the prior week, 1977. We got to that high, we backed off. Then we reasserted ourselves, and we had 86.50. We got to that high, we backed off, and we made it up to 1992. They got a lot. They got a lot of oomph underneath this market. They're just not going to reverse right now. Now, if we had shot up like 40 handles and then we're doing that, yeah, but we're just not in that situation. And on top of that, it's a Goldilocks number. It shows that the American economy is still powering ahead, but guess what? The wage growth dropped minus 0.10. That means the Fed's going to be on hold till the end of the summer. Unless we go gangbusters with more added growth, the Fed's on hold. So it's a fantastic number. It's a fantastic number when you look at the way equity's going in trade. And then when we take a look at manufacturing jobs, they lost 16,000. So now the prior one we gained 23,000 when everybody thought it was going to go and fall. So it's all playing into a Goldilocks scenario. I don't think you see any kind of moves lower are going to be bought in dips, like moves to 57 or 1960 are going to be bought. They're going to buy those. And it's just a matter of if they can try and push them up any higher. Maybe this is as good as it gets overall for a moment, but I think next week they're still going to try and push them even higher because it's a Goldilocks scenario for those that trade, the equities.
Watch this failed break in the dollar yen, especially if we can't sustain above 114. That this is the clue. Oh God, look at the S&P right now.
It's still above the highs they were earlier. That's what I'm saying. It's still good. It's just, it doesn't mean we can't dip lower, but I don't see anything that's a harbinger of a immediate reversal. I think that they may want to push them higher going into cash equity open, but I don't see anything that indicates that there's going to be some massive reversal here. And we're at 1996. I mean, come on, 1997. That's higher than we were before, so we're still holding these levels here. And I don't know what crude can do here because the way how they haven't been playing it that way. But if the dollar's stronger, then that weighs on crude. And we're at these key levels. I would like to have seen it go higher, but and Brent's had a pretty good run. I just think that the crude needs to just rest a little bit. Maybe that'll take us down to 33.73, which we need to hold 33.73 on a weekly. But it just seems like a little stretched here. Everywhere else is bad except for the U.S. economy, and I just think that crude's kind of come along too far, too fast. The only thing is that you have to use wide stops now because they're really testing them. But I would have to think.
Oh, crude's. Yeah, crude. I mean, it's stuck. It's not moving anywhere. I think everybody's.
Blake, do you want my interjection in here?
Not really.
Okay.
No, go ahead, please do, Steve.
Have you looked at bonds?
No, but let's take a look at the bond market.
I mean, you got bond market 3 times as bigger than other stuff, and so what you got to take into consideration is the fact that I think the bond players are looking at the Fed being in play here in March, and I kind of think that maybe this market could, the stock market could turn down just because of what's happening with the bonds.
Yeah, look at exactly what the bonds are doing right now. We pushed to new lows and spiked right back up again.
The Fed's not going to take any action in March. It's not going to happen. Not when wage growth actually went in reverse and went minus 0.1. March is not even happening. That's a fairy tale. Now the thing may be for June, and I don't even know when the next meeting is. But with the lower wages, no, that kicks it out down towards the end of summer. Unless we see like massive wage growth like this, 200, yeah, they'll move in June. The Fed's not doing nothing in March. I'll take the other trade and bet the farm on that.
Shooting star in the hourly on the E-mini futures. If we close like this, be very, very careful with equities right here. If you guys are on the long side, right at the top of a trend, a big reversal candle. If we close like this, we got 10 minutes till close. Back.
Yeah, this is a 2-hour close too. So look at the euro. We need to scale 942 on a 2-hour close, to keep this upside okay, and we're at 939.
The euro is bouncing back. We're at 109.40. And Steve, you bring up a good point about bonds. Just if you're watching the price action in bonds, we push to new lows, and if we reverse here and bonds start ripping, we're going to have a serious problem in equities. Equities are rolling over hard right now, by the way.
Yeah, someone asked me in the webinar yesterday, says, what do you think about the number? What could happen to stocks? And I basically said, if you get a number that's 250,000 or above, and when you add in the revisions from the previous 2 months, you've got a number that's 272,000. So when you do that, I told the person flat out, I think stocks will probably go down because they're going to favor the Fed being hawkish. And so that's what I told them, and so
massive shooting star here, guys.
So,
all right, wow, big rollover in equities right here. We're about ready to turn negative on the S&P, close to, and I'm glad I stayed short the dollar yen. Man, it's below. It's given back everything from NFP. The euro's almost back too. Just so you guys know, I added a little bit of euro down in the 20s. I told the guys in the chat room, but I had a little bit of euro. I'm staying long. So here's the dollar yen. Yeah, I mean, look at that long wick. I mean, we printed 14.20, and we've given back 40 pips already. And be careful. It's very, 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 very whippy out there. Euro dollar's trading at 109, almost 109.40. The pound's bounced 30 pips. Gold is actually regained almost everything it lost from non-farm payroll. As a matter of fact, I think it regained everything. Let me double check that. NFP was 20 minutes ago. Yeah, we've rallied. This is where NFP happened. We're actually higher now in gold than where we were. Euro's at 109.45. A good cover, Paul, in the euro at 109.06. That was really awesome.
Oh, thanks. We got to get a 2-hour close above 942 to keep this upside going for the euro.
Yeah, the euro is not backing off at all.
I'll tell you what, today's close is going to be truly interesting across the board, whether it's SPOOs. Not so much I don't think SPOOs, but I think euro and gold, today's close is really going to be something else. To see how this plays out.
Yep. I agree with you. And I mean, there's a pretty relentless bid here in gold. I mean, gold's it's up $4 right now. It's up $5.
I mean, unless the wheels come off the caboose and the SPOOs, I don't see gold going beyond 1274 because that's that key level again. I mean, we got it to 1275.90,
but Paul, again. Just look at where we're just. This right here, this 1260. That is the breakout point from, the move that we've had. So if we can close above 1265, I mean, I know 1270 might be some sort of level, but I mean this is
1274. But they need a 2-hour close above 1265 to keep the upside momentum. So if you don't get a 2-hour close above 1265, we're not even talking about 1274 at this point. Like I'm saying, we've seen a very nice rally back, but it's all about 1265 on a 2-hour close, and that comes in 7 minutes. So I mean, people can actually, it's something that's actionable. It's not like at the end of the day or in another 5 hours. In the next 7 minutes, we need a 2-hour close above 1265 for the momentum to resume on the upside. Now, if we don't get it, and then the next 2 hours later we get the 2-hour above 1265, then everything's hunky-dory. But we need a 2-hour close above 1265 to regain the upside momentum in gold. At least when it comes to that 1274.
So the euro is about mid-range right now.
Yeah, 940.48 is kind of a key level there. So as long as we can get that 2-hour close above 942, then the euro's okay. right now, but you need that 2-hour close above 942.
Mark asked why 2-hour, and I don't use a 2-hour chart. So
I do, and the reason I do is because as a day trader, there's no way I can sit around as a day trader scalper and sit around and wait for a 4-hour chart. It'd be, like I said, just sitting here watching. Might as well sit there and watch grass grow as a day trader. So
but here's the problem with the 2-hour. Why don't you use just an hourly chart?
No. I use a 30-minute. I use a 5, a 30, and a 2-hour. The 2-hour works like a gem in the crude oil market, and it works pretty doggone good in the euro market. I can't wait for a 4-hour. If you're a position trader, that's fine. Use a 4-hour. But with me, I use 2 hours, and it works fantastic. When I say it's got to close above this level, the same thing I did in crude when they had the reports yesterday or day before yesterday, and everybody was saying, "Oh man, nobody can make a case for being long crude now," and a lot of big traders were saying that, and I said, you know what? It just closed on the 2-hour above 34.21. I go, this opens the door for a move to 35.17. Guess what? We hit 35.17.
So Mark, in other words, it's a personal preference. I use an hourly candle, so it's just more of a personal preference. Keep your eye. Here's the S&P. Look at the just look at the hourly candle, because everybody can use an hourly. Hours start and stop at the same time. We have a shooting star at the top of a trend with a really long wick, so be careful there. Let's go take a look at some of these hourly candles as they're setting up for closes. Here's the Aussie. Aussie's a little choppy here, especially if futures reverse. The Aussie's going to have a bit of a problem, and this is 161% extension that we're struggling at. The euro, on the other hand, if you look at the euro dollar, yeah, I guess we had a sell-off, but we had also a false breakdown, and we had a retest of the broken channel, so keep that in mind. Let's go look at the cable. Here's the cable. We held above 141 very well, and the dollar yen, I think, is the one that we got to pay pretty close attention to. Here's the dollar yen. False breakout above 114. If we turn around and we break through 113.50 today, I would not want to be on the long side. And by the way, equities are about ready to slip into negative territory. So, Paul, you have any last comments?
No, that's about it. I just think that it's going to be interesting closes today in a lot of markets.
Okay, all right, sounds good. Let's see. Yeah, here's the S&P. Just be really careful here. That's not a good looking. That's not a good look if you're on the long side of equities right now. Look at the euros trading above 109.50.
That's pretty good.
Gold is ripping right now.
Got to get above 1265, but the euro's doing really well because it gets this 2-hour close above 942, then everything's a-okay. So for now, we'll see after how it holds up at these levels, because I don't know. I think the euro's really a little bit too far.
We're
963 is key. 963 is key. So I think anybody that bought this euro, I'd jump out at 963. On this run to 963, I'd exit
109.60, and here we are.
960. I would take the other side of the trade at 109.63, feeling that it has to go on and come back down now.
Man, these are I'm pretty happy about the recovery here, so feeling pretty good about that. Man. Wow, this dollar has really shown a reversal. Here, look at real quick at the dollar index. Look at the hour. Whoops. Look at the hourly wick of the dollar. Euro's at 109.63. Paul.
Yeah, I was faded against you as a day trader.
Wow. All right. Be really careful because the hourly closes in 1 minute. So. All right, guys, big false breakout in the dollar yen. Dollar yen's trading below 113.60. I love it. Okay. All right, Kip, it's all yours. Where's Kip? Euro's almost near its highs of the day. We are almost at highs of the day. Oh baby. Woo!
Gold broke
Euro
above.
is almost at new highs. Go baby.
Gold's
Go!
at
Okay, I just
1266.
got short.
I'm out of here.
I just got
done.
short euro here.
Drop
Got
mic.
short euro here.
Oh, Kip is in Vegas. Damn it.
No. Kip's here for the first
Oh,
hour,
Kip's
and
here,
then I'm
yeah.
taking over for the second hour. All right.
I'm
All
here.
right.
I just got short euro here, so I would like to see a good 25 pip pullback here in the euro.
Careful,
so right
Paul,
now I'm already
careful.
up 8 pips.
Careful, cowboy. All right, guys. Hey, Kip, how you doing, man? You ready to go to Vegas or what?
I'm so ready for Vegas.
Vegas, baby, Vegas.
Vegas,
All right, hey,
baby.
Paul, thank you for all the coverage. Steve, thanks for chiming in. Everybody, you guys have been a wonderful panel, and everybody, thank you very much for joining. I'll see you back here in 3 hours. I'm done. I gotta go trade. Ciao.
Okay.
Have fun, Blake. Have a good weekend, everyone.